Hey guys, Derek here. Welcome back to the channel. We are back to watch another episode of The Sandman. Last episode was probably my favorite episode of the season so far, with Dream venturing down into hell to retrieve his helm. Very creative, very inventive battle with Lucifer, playing like the oldest game or whatever it's called, where they're kind of one-upping each other, saying I am this, and they kind of transform into that, and Dream wins because he is like, I am hope. So that was a really fun episode, and I liked it a lot. This episode is the one that I've heard is a little tough to watch for some people, not because of like a dip in quality or anything. It's just some of the content in the episode itself is a little on either like the darker side or a little more gruesome. Some stuff takes place in a diner, I guess. And I've heard people are, they like it, but they're like, I'm only ever going to watch this episode once. So, yeah, I'm very excited to jump into this. So before we do that, if you end up enjoying my reaction, please leave a like on the video. That means a lot to me. If you're new here or you find yourself coming back often, hit subscribe and ring the bell so you're notified when I upload. And then if you want to see the full uncut version of this reaction, consider supporting me on Patreon. That is linked in the description below. But otherwise, let's jump into the episode.
Get up. I mean it, seriously.
Dream. Head dream, quit dreaming.
Out of here. Gotta get your Ruby back.
You're sleeping,
Can't
bud.
do that unless you wake the fuck up.
You're sleeping on the job, Chief. Bro, those are reserved for families. You can't pick the biggest table.
How are you doing today?
Bet.
How am I doing? This is my secret.
Bro, you're gonna weird her out.
And what are you dreaming about? New house? New job?
A new world, a more honest one.
That is the dream, isn't it?
Those are the type of things people say in real life, and you're immediately in your head being like, this dude's a serial killer. Like, if anyone talked to me this way in public at my job, I'd be like, you're weird, man. Like, leave me alone.
Hi, Marsh.
That
Have fun, you two.
Okay, he does not seem remotely interested in her.
How are you, Marsh? You good?
yeah.
Bro, he won't even look at her. Did you guys smash? And now things are awkward? I have a feeling that everyone here is gonna die. Like, there's just an ominous tone. The folding phone weirdo.
Hey.
Hey, I got your text.
Oh, I've seen this chick in a thumbnail.
I don't know why Judy's wasting her time on Donna Kavanaugh. Judy's so pretty, she could have any man in town.
What's going on with you guys? What's the vibe here? You okay, dickhead? She's trying to talk to you. There must be some history there. There's no way he's just this mean.
One for lunch, Hansel?
Is it okay if I'm kind of early for an interview in the neighborhood. Is it okay if I just have coffee?
Of course, I just made fresh pie.
Man, everyone wants coffee.
They're gonna love you.
You're very nice. Thank you.
I'm not being nice, I get a sense about people.
I mean, you are being nice. That's a nice thing to say. Hopefully this dude's not a sociopath. I don't know why. Just the look of him, he could either be the sweetest person in the world or the most awful person.
How are you, Bet? How's Bernard doing? How's the writing going?
Oh yeah, how's the novel?
Good. You know, I thought I'd have more time to write with Bernard after college, but it's been great having him home, so.
Does he think no one here is being truthful about things? It's just like fake and...
Visual, sweetie? Spinach salads.
Hold up.
Oof. Look at that burger.
That looks good. That looks like a good burger.
Get it. If that's what you want.
Okay, don't use that tone. That means don't get it. You're gonna make him feel bad if he gets it.
My characters are all based on real people, but it's fiction, I guess, because all my stories have happy endings.
That's because you know when to stop. And the trouble with stories is...
You
if
keep
them
writing
going
long enough.
They all end in death.
Yeah.
Don't they?
Technically, yeah. If you write about these people until the end of their lives.
You don't really think I'm handsome, do you?
Okay, brother, my brother in Christ, you
No,
need
of
to
course I
stop.
Why did you call me that? Why did you lie?
Ooh.
I don't know.
It's just part of the job, brother. It's customer service. Increased tips.
I wanted you to like me.
I do like you. I like this version of you much better, don't you?
Did he just change something in her? That she's just gonna tell the truth to everybody now? Oh dear. This is supremely uncomfortable. Like the tone that they're setting in this episode is just so tense.
Here we are. One spinach salad and one double decker.
He got the salad though.
We didn't order that. He didn't order that.
But that's what he wanted.
Sorry.
It's fine.
You're not eating that.
I won't eat the bun.
Bedford, you mind?
Could I please just eat what I want for once, please?
Thank you, Dad.
Thanks, man.
People gonna be getting in fights up in here. Those fries probably taste so good. Probably unbelievable.
Hey, how many bars do you have? I don't think my texts are going through. Can I text you to see?
They're going through. She just doesn't want to hear from you.
What?
Ooh.
Fuck you, dude.
Hey, you were the one that was rude to him first, if we're being honest, but also, he's just telling it like it is. Is he stopping her from leaving?
I'll get you a menu.
Okay. So he prevented her from leaving. Very interesting.
You all right?
My brother in Christ, if you're sitting across from her, oh my God.
I don't think I am.
This guy's creepy. I don't like him.
Hope she's been in a fucking car accident. At least that would explain why she hasn't texted back.
Why did she leave?
Because she's rude.
Everyone here is judging me. You, Bet, Marsh. You all think I'd be so much happier if I just fucked a dude.
Bet does think that.
That doesn't think Donna's good enough for you.
She said that?
To Marsh. I heard her.
Why would you tell her that?
That burger made you sick to your stomach, didn't it?
Why won't you let that one trucker that got out of here early is in the best spot. You giving him another menu? You have to eat again. Oh, he's doing some weird time loop shenanigans, and it's creating a storm outside.
Bet says you have an interview with us today.
Yeah.
There's just this like seething
keep going.
tension
I don't want to be late for it.
underneath all of this.
Marsh, can you
What's-
not even look at me?
Yo, what's going on, Marsh? Come on.
And after dinner, he'll go up to his room and
And then you could smash. You could touch butts.
It's okay. I'm not interested in you either.
Ooh.
then why do you keep coming over?
Because I like to have dinner with you and Bernard. And have somebody else to cook for a change.
Okay.
After dinner, when you fall asleep in front of the TV, I like to go upstairs to your son's room. I don't like fucking him.
Okay, that's the route that I thought
Sometimes I let him fuck me.
it was going. And then it...
He's 21, Ben. And he knows what he's doing. I didn't know shit when I was his age.
I would quit. I'd be like, bro, you're sneaking up to my son's room to smash his butt cheeks when you are pretending to like me? What is this?
I can barely take care of myself, let alone somebody else.
Isn't that a bit sexist? Not every girl needs taken care of. Turns out men don't actually love taking orders from women.
Now it's
I
being
mean,
sexist.
I don't think anyone loves taking orders from
Some
anyone
men love taking orders from women.
in the bedroom.
You know what? Fuck Marsh.
Indeed.
He'll fuck anything. Except me.
That's because you seem like a horrible person.
Because he's not very good at it.
Ooh, rude. Practice makes perfect. You gotta communicate with him.
I love to eat, drink, fuck. Kate doesn't like to do any of those things.
You should probably tone down some of those vices, my brother. And stop cheating on your wife.
How bad?
Are they gonna bone down in the...
Sometimes you just need to get your dick sucked.
Marsh is down for that, brother.
Donna's lucky to have you.
There's gonna be like 6 different people having sex in this diner. Time to scissor.
Yes, I don't know. Someone to see
Sorry, that was horrible. My bad.
how beautiful.
Time for a tasteful smooch. Ooh, oh, it happened immediately. Okay. God dang, son. That's what's up. That's what's up. Gang, gang.
What'd you do that for?
Because you're cute. And she's gay.
What is happening right now?
You're falling in love, is what's happening. With someone who actually likes you. Not friggin' Marsh. Oh my god. I'm right. Everyone's gonna be philandering at the same time. Except for John. He's just gonna sit there and watch everybody like a creeper. I thought this guy was a sweet guy. Oh, damn. Okay. Man's going to work. He is applying for that job. Oh, damn. They're just, yep, they're boning right here. Wow, they're so sweet together. I like those two together. Both of these other situations are super toxic, though. John boy, why are you making them do this? Is this like a commentary on allowing people to just live out their true primal desires, and anytime that happens, it leads to boning?
BBC was reporting that 2 giant pandas have successfully mated after 10 years of trying.
Hey! Panda sex!
Mated after a decade-long courtship effort by zoo staffers.
Damn, everyone's boning, even the pandas.
Hey man, just take it easy. You think you're man enough for her? You're not much of a fighter, though. You're weak.
My brother in Christ, are you about to kill this child? Oh, my brother in Christ. You got killed by the child. That's self-defense, I think, technically, but...
He attacked me. You saw. You all saw. He tried to choke me.
Somebody call an ambulance.
Son, I don't think you're getting that job.
Not who I am.
I mean, that is who you are now. Oh, she realizes it's him.
All I did was take away the lies. You all did the rest. You did what you wanted to.
I never wanted this.
You don't have to pretend anymore.
Oh, well, this is not gonna end well. He's gonna kill everyone in this diner.
I offered you a world where you could be yourselves without having to suffer for it, but it seems you enjoy your suffering.
Then he will make you suffer.
And perhaps your suffering will set you free. The truth is a cleansing fire.
Oh my God.
And the lies we've told ourselves.
My brother in Christ. Ooh. That probably hurts so bad. You just nailed your hand to the ground, or to the counter.
So the love
What is...
and hate.
Sister, don't do it. Oh my God, are you cutting your hands off? Jesus Christ.
Can all be expressed.
Why are you doing this? I don't like this. Oh, and she's just cooking. Do not saw your hand off right now. Oh, no. I like her. I mean, she was rude at first, but I like her.
You're still seeing it with your eyes.
He's gonna take your eyes,
You need to close them.
rip them out of your head. Oh my God. Stop it. Stop it. Oh. Why would you do this? Oh, is Dream here? Hey! Can you bring all these people back to life?
It is harming you, John, and your world.
It's revealing the truth.
Some stuff is going down, even outside this diner.
Busy.
They're lying to themselves.
What?
Gary.
I thought they all died.
Good, you know?
Bet dreams of creating something that matters to people. Their dreams inspired them. Their dreams kept them alive.
It made me cry right now.
If you would rob a dream lord of his power, you shall do so in his realm. creating dreams.
Is that the Bly Manor house?
Welcome home, Johnny.
It's your mama. Johnny. Bro. He put you in the nightmare realm.
Your father was right. I never should have had you.
Oh, that's spooky. My brother in Christ, I don't think you're winning this engagement. You entered into the dream dimension, and you are gonna lose.
Is this your throne, King of Lies? Well, it's mine now! Your kingdom is my birthright.
This is just another dream, buddy.
How does it feel to know I hold your life?
This is just a positive dream that you're seeing. You don't realize it's still a dream. Listen, Remus Lupin.
Your life and your lies end now.
You were able to realize when the negative dream was a dream, but you don't realize when the positive dream is a dream.
Thank you, John.
Loser.
But I killed you.
Nah, fam. Not at all.
Are you going to kill me?
I could. I will not kill you.
She's gonna put you back in this mental hospital.
Sleep well, John.
Dude, this episode. And the diner
Damn,
probably
it's the
burned
Ruby.
down.
Can you undo it?
Oh, yeah, this was worldwide.
Tomorrow, the rebuilding will begin. In this realm and in mine.
Who's standing there? Oi,
I'm watching you.
who you is?
Big brother.
Oh. You're a little sibling. Jesus Christ, the end of the episode. Holy cow, dude. That was quite something. Yeah, yeah. I get it. I get when people said that that's an episode they can probably only watch once. I certainly understand. But like weirdly, not because of like the gruesome deaths at the end. You know, that it is what it is. Blah, 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 blah. It is what it is. You kind of see that kind of stuff in media all the time. I think the reason I probably wouldn't want to watch this episode again is just like the uncomfortable, like tense nature throughout most of the episode, where like these people, like I don't know how to explain it. Like they made both aspects of the like the diner situation feel very uncomfortable. They made like, well, there's like 3 stages of the diner, and they made all of it uncomfortable. So the first stage is John goes in there and he's being his usual weird ass self, and this waitress she's just trying to be a nice waitress, right? She's just trying to get this dude to like her, and, you know, possibly give her good tips, and she's trying to be a good waitress, right? Be a friendly waitress. But like his responses are just so weird. Where like you know, if you've ever worked in like customer service or anything like that, most of the time your preferred response from these people is like the fake response. Like when someone comes into my place of work and I ask them like, hey, how are you doing? I don't want to hear how you're actually doing. I want you to say, oh, like, I'm good, and then keep walking, or like, could be better. Classic Minnesota, things could be worse. You know, I don't want you to actually like creepily tell me that you're not doing good or that you're doing better than normal. Like, don't do that. I don't want to have a conversation with you. Like that is like the default state of any customer service worker, is like, we're just trying to clock in, do our job, and then go home. We're not actually trying to talk to you. like the fakeness is preferred in that situation. So like his response is automatically creepy. Like that would be a situation where if I was that waitress, I'd be like, I'm gonna take my time before I come back to his table because I don't want to interact with him. But then the next stage with all the different people, so like the two people that work at Vanguard, the girl who is in a fight, the Marsh and Bet, and then the dude, like all their like fakeness kind of, well, especially the two CEO, or the CEO and her husband, like there's the fakeness from them where you can tell there's like this tension underneath. And then Marsh and Bet, you can tell that there's this tension underneath of like there's something wrong with the, like, it's not just like a fakeness about them, like that's kind of normal, but like there's this bubbling tension underneath that is wrong about the situation. And I think that's what John sees. That's the only part that he sees, is he sees them doing their thing, and he just sees the tension and the wrongness, and how just a little bit, just take away that barrier, you know, there's a ceiling of realness or whatever. Like they're getting up to that ceiling of realness, but then they hit that glass ceiling, right? And then, you know, that's where society keeps us, and how society functions on a normal way. And he's like, if I just remove that little barrier, the authenticity of the situation continues to rise, and it continues to bubble, and people's primal desires continue to come out. And that's what he sees. And we are kind of, I think at that stage in the episode, we're almost led into how he views things in that moment. And we as the viewer can see that it's wrong as well. And you want these people to be more honest and be more real. And you can almost agree with him in a sense, just a little bit, where you're like, okay, if these people would just quit with the pretenses and just say things how they are, yeah. But then it goes another level where like they're being genuine and they're being true, but like his, like part of it is him influencing it as well, right? Like where the guy was like, you know, that after he kills the guy, he's like, that's not me, and she's like, it's him. I think it's both, right? Like I think he genuinely in the moment wanted to kill him, but that just came from him wanting to live. Like he didn't want to die. That's self-defense. So I think John definitely was influencing it. Like he was pushing it, like egging it on a little bit, where like their deepest primal desires would naturally not reach this level. Like them being genuine in their desires and their feelings wouldn't actually reach this level, but he is pushing it farther. And it just becomes very uncomfortable when they start all telling their truths, and it's just like awkward. Like Bet, when she's talking to Marsh and she's trying to be like, yo, why can't we date? he's like, I like coming over, but not for you. And in that moment, I was like, excuse me? Like, for some reason, I didn't realize that her kid was 21. Well, because I heard her talk about her kid being away at college and then coming back or whatever, but then for some reason it didn't quite register in my brain. So when Marsh was like, yeah, I like going up to your kid's room, I was like, my brother in Christ, what are you saying right now? Like, this is awful. And then he's like, oh, he's 21 and he likes to bone me too. And I was like, okay. Still awful that you're like pretending to be interested in this lady so that you can have sex with her son. Slightly less awful because her son is like a grown adult. Right? Like, you do you. You can do what you want, kid. Just don't lie to your mom about it. Like, just, why don't you just tell the truth? I guess that's part of the whole issue here, is no one's telling the truth. But like, they just ratchet up the uncomfortable level where people are telling their truth, and it's not, there's no, there's no comfort level to it. Like, sometimes people will say truths, but they won't say it in a harsh way. Like when she's like, oh, I wonder why my texts aren't going through. He's like, they're going through, she just didn't want to talk to you. And it's just like, that's that extra level of uncomfortability, and then it just keeps driving and driving and driving, and you're like, oh. I called it midway. I was like, everyone in this diner is about to have sex. Like, if he's trying to drive their primal instincts like across the world, of course one of those primal instincts is gonna be boning. And it's not just affecting the people in the diner, it's affecting like the entire world. Like, even the pandas that haven't made it in 10 years, they're going to Bone Town, and the news person's dropping the F-bomb on live television. It's like, bro, things are getting nifty. Like, I started to sense that it was outside of the diner as well. Like, when the storm was happening, I was like, ooh, something's brewing. Like, it's not just that. And then once the pandas happened, I was like, oh, okay, like, this is happening. But yeah, it just keeps driving and driving and driving, and he gets to the point where he's like, where they're almost fighting against it. Like, they realize that it's not them doing this, it's him, and they're like, okay, we don't want this. Like, we would prefer to have things at least like a compromise, like part way back to where it was. You know, a little bit of fakeness. Come on, let society be liars. It's okay. And he's like, you know what? If you want to suffer, I'm gonna make you suffer. And then he literally makes them all kill themselves in horrible ways. Like, they're cutting themselves. Marsh is cutting his fingers off with a knife. That one dude nails his hand to the table and then saws it off. And it's like, bro, why? Why? Okay, I just did a quick Google search because I wanted to know what the comic was like, and apparently the comic is like way more brutal. Like, the comic version of this specific interaction is like way more gruesome, so that's wild. I don't know how they printed that. Neil Gaiman, you crazy man. But like, them ratcheting up this, it wakes Dream up, and then he comes in and is like, brother, you need to stop. Like, things are getting out of control. And he takes John into the dream world, and he starts him off with like a nightmare. Like, he shows him his worst nightmares, essentially, or at least some nightmares. And John recognizes that that's a dream, and so then Dream pivots. This is my interpretation of it. It might not be accurate, but my interpretation is that after he realizes the nightmare part of it, Dream pivots to showing him positive dreams, like his own desires, and uses that against him. And he doesn't realize that part, that he's still like in the dreaming, and he crushes the ruby on his own, and then puts him back in the mental hospital. He realizes though that it's not entirely his fault. Like, he realizes the power that this that the ruby has, right? He's like, my power is so great that it's not your fault that it influenced you in this way. And he doesn't kill him, and then the episode is like pretty much done until we see Dream's little sibling. Don't know which one that is, or what they're doing, but then the episode ends and it's like, bro, now Morpheus, he's got all his stuff back, right? He's got the ruby, but it's broken now. So does he have to like reforge the ruby, or is all that power just back in himself now? But he's got the ruby's power, he's got his sand, and he's got his helm, so he should theoretically be like at full strength now. But we're only halfway through the season, so now the second half of the season's gonna be him like rebuilding society and rebuilding the mortal and unmortal realms. Very curious. Yeah, but no, this episode was really, really good. Like, the quality of the episode, the writing, the visuals, all of it, fantastic. The acting, brilliant. But yeah, it just the undertones, the tension and uncomfortability that's just right below the surface, I think is what would make this episode something that I could only watch once. There's very few. I'm trying to think of like other things like that I could only watch once. I mean, there's certain things that you watch and it just makes you really sad. So you're like, I can't put myself through that again. Or like things that just like are like really gross and you're like, I can't watch that again. But I'm trying to think of like other situations or other films or TV shows where you watch it and it's just this feeling of tension and uncomfortability throughout the whole thing that makes it not like, it's enjoyable, but you can't go back and watch it again. Yeah, I don't know. This was wild though. This show is so good. And I hope it gets to continue. From what I've heard, like, Neil Gaiman himself isn't even 100% sure that they'll get renewed, just even though this show was like incredibly popular, like wildly successful on the platform. Netflix might do its classic Netflix thing and cancel it because it's expensive. Netflix, they'll invest a ton of money into one season of a show, hoping that it'll become a mega hit, and then if it just becomes like a pretty solid hit, but not quite like Netflix, I feel like, is expecting every show that they invest money in to become the next Game of Thrones. Right? They're like, hey, if we put in a ton of money for this first season and drop it all at once, it will become the next Game of Thrones. And then when it doesn't, like, it doesn't quite hit the numbers that they want it to make up for the money they spent, they're like, okay, we're gonna cancel it. So the fact that this show might not get a second season is baffling. Like, Netflix, I don't know how they think everything's gonna be the next Game of Thrones. The only things that are gonna be the next Game of Thrones are the things that come out weekly. Like, that's the entire reason Game of Thrones became Game of Thrones, is because it released weekly and people were talking about it every week. Like, when you drop everything at once and people binge it, they forget about it in 2 weeks, right? Like the show as a whole might stay in the cultural conversation for longer than that, but like on an individual level, when you drop entire seasons of a show at once, people will watch the entire season and then forget about it within 3 weeks. So like Netflix, Netflix could have posted one episode of the Sandman per week, and people would be talking about it on an individual level for 10 weeks. But instead, people watch it all and then forget about it in 3 weeks. So like that is, and I saw an article earlier this week that was like, Netflix is going to be moving away from the binge drop method. And I was like, yes, like, thank Christ, like, this is the best news I could have gotten from Netflix. And then another article that was like, no, they're actually not. And it's like, bro, they should. They should. Like, the Sandman would be probably way bigger and you know, guaranteed a second season if people watched it weekly. Like okay, so just for context, so House of the Dragon on HBO has been going on for the last 3-4 weeks now. The first episode got like 16 million viewers or something like that, and the second episode got like 18 million viewers in like the first couple days, and then the third episode got like 20 plus million viewers. And it's like, the reason that the audience is building is because week by week by week, one, it's a good show, but people are talking about it, and the more people talk about it, the more people watch the next episode, and so it keeps building and building and building. And that's how Game of Thrones became Game of Thrones. Is it word of mouth weekly carried each episode, even if the next episode wasn't better necessarily, the more people talked about it, the more people watched it, and the more people watched it, the more people talked about it. And that is how like, I don't understand how all these networks like Netflix and well, HBO understands, but Netflix, Amazon Prime, you know, Disney Plus, all these, none of these people understand. They're all trying to make the next Game of Thrones, but none of them really seem to get what made Game of Thrones Game of Thrones. I mean, yes, Game of Thrones was superbly written, you know, fantastic show with a high, I mean, the early seasons didn't even have that high of a budget, like, comparatively. I mean, it had a high budget, but it wasn't like a mega budget like the late seasons and like now House of the Dragon or like Rings of Power. But like, the logistical standpoints of like, just release episodes weekly, release them at 8-9 p.m. like normal, like don't stop dropping episodes at 2 a.m. for Central Time Zone in the United States. Like, you want people to talk about your shows and watch your shows, release them weekly, like consistent time, like everyone knows what time it is, and you don't have to wake up at 2 a.m. to watch it. Like when you drop it at 2 a.m, people aren't gonna plan their day to, like, most people aren't gonna plan their day to wake up at 2 a.m. They're like, oh, I have to wait until after work to watch this. And then it doesn't become a situation of like, I'm gonna watch it at this time. It's just, I'll watch it when I have time. But if you put your episode out at 8 p.m., 9 p.m., when most people probably aren't at work, they can plan to watch it at that time. And then it becomes more of a guaranteed thing that they're going to watch each week at that time. So it's just I'm going on a long rant now about Netflix's viewership and how they drop things. And people will definitely be like, oh no, like I like the binge watch model. Like, I like to watch it all at once. Like, people who don't like that, you can just watch one episode a week. You don't have to watch it all at once. And to that I say, shut up. Like, the opposite thing works. Like, you can watch it all at once when it ends. Like, let everyone else watch it weekly and let the hype build continually for the show. And then when the finale comes out, you can totally binge it. Like, you would just have to wait 10 weeks. Just pretend that it didn't come out 10 weeks ago and and watch it at the end. Like, it's way better if it releases weekly, because then the binge watch people can still binge it at the end. Right? Like, but instead it just, you know, a ton of people get spoiled because it drops all at once, and then people can just post the finale spoilers before people are even on episode 3, and it's like, it's infuriating that a show that is this good, like, this show is incredible, and it's infuriating that a show this good, this high quality writing, visually, acting, all of it, might not get a second season. And this show came out like maybe 2 months ago at the most, and it is out of Netflix's top 10 already. I mean, it was number 1 on Netflix for a good month, pretty much, but it's out of it already, pretty much. I don't see many people talking about it anymore, and it might not get a second season. And if that is not like a condemnation on how Netflix, produces their content, it, like, I don't know what is. Like, I don't know how Netflix can continue this method when the only shows that are doing well on the platform are the mega hits like Stranger Things. Like if a show that arguably performs this well for this long on the platform can't get a second season, like, why do I have my Netflix subscription? Like, what's the point? What's the point in paying for a Netflix subscription when a show that's this good might not get a second season? It's insane. And that's starting to be what makes a lot of people not even start a show like this. Like, people might not even ever watch this show because they're like, oh, it's not going to get a second season. Like Archive 81, fantastic show. I loved that show. But it got canceled after the first season. And it's like when a show, there's shows that I avoid starting until I know is getting multiple seasons. Because it's like, why would I start this show if I know it's not going to complete its run, right? Like, ugh, it's infuriating. And at this point I'm just ranting. And yeah, I don't know if Netflix will ever change their method, but hopefully they see the success of House of the Dragon and Rings of Power, both shows releasing weekly, and hopefully they see the power that's having. I mean, I don't know how many people necessarily watched this total, like how many total people watched this season when it came out, or overall at all. I mean, Netflix has a giant subscriber base, but I don't know how many people necessarily watched the Sandman. But 25 million people watched the first 2 episodes of Rings of Power in the first 4 days that it came out, and roughly the same amount watched episode 3. And it's just like, it seems, maybe, I don't know if I'm one of the only people that sees it, or other people don't see it, or they see it differently. But I don't understand who is in charge of Netflix and just doesn't get it. like people harped on the TV cable cutting thing, we're moving away from TV, but the whole positive concept behind cord cutting wasn't moving away from how TV works in terms of how it's produced, right? Like the weekly format, people were just cord cutting because of the giant packages that included 900 channels you don't watch and cost $200 a month. that's what people were trying to move away from with streaming. It wasn't we're getting away from the weekly episode, 15 episode season. Okay, at this point I'm just running in circles and just talking about stuff that isn't even related to Sandman anymore. So I'm gonna end it there. Tell me what you guys thought of this episode down in the comments below. Do you hope this show gets a second season? I severely hope it does. If you enjoyed my reaction, please leave a like on the video. It means a lot to me. If you're new here, or you find yourself coming back often, hit subscribe and ring the bell so you're notified when I upload, especially if you want to see me react to the rest of the season of The Sandman. And then if you want to see the full uncut version of this reaction, consider supporting me on Patreon. That would mean the world as well. But otherwise, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.